Let me tell you something most people never realize until much later in their life and in their careers. Your career does not fail when one plan fails. It only fails when you stop moving after that plan fails. I want to share a real story here today. Not from social media, not from a podcast, but from someone I have directly worked with. This person was my colleague, a manager working just like me in a Fortune 500 company in Silicon Valley here in California. But before that, his life looked completely different. Back in India, he was preparing for competitive exams like UPSC and MPSC. And if you know anything about these exams, you know this is not a casual attempt, isn't it? People put years and years into it, they structure their entire identity around it. Daily routines, social life, family expectations, everything. He worked hard, he cleared multiple stages, he even reached the interview level. And still he didn't make it. Now, here is the part people don't talk about. When something like that doesn't work out, it doesn't just feel like you failed an exam, it feels like you failed at life. Because suddenly, all the years you invested feel wasted. Your peers are moving ahead, your family doesn't know what to say, and you don't even know what plan B is supposed to look like. Most people freeze at this point. Some keep retrying and retrying even when their energy is gone. Some quit completely and settle for something they hate. Some carry that regret quietly for decades. But this person, my colleague, didn't do any of that. No. Instead, he made a decision that most people are afraid to make. He changed the direction without any drama. He didn't pretend the exam didn't matter. He didn't say the failure is great or post those motivational quotes and all that happens in the social media. He did none of that. He simply asked practical questions. What is the next best move from here? That question changed everything, right? He explored options. He applied for a master's program in the United States. He completed his MBA here in US. And he rebuilt his career step by step. Years later, after all this happened with his career, I was working with him. Similar meetings, similar responsibilities, similar pressure because both of us were working as managers here in a global Fortune 500 company. And if you look at him at work, you would never guess that his first career plan didn't work out. That's the part that should really sink in. Careers are not ladders. They are not like straight lines. They are closer to a maze. And most people don't fail because they take a wrong turn. They fail because they assume one wrong turn means the maze is over. Let me say that again. One closed door does not define your career. Your reaction to that closed door definitely does. Here's what most people get it wrong. They think successful people had clarity early in their careers. They think the people doing well today planned it perfectly 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's almost not true and never true. What actually separates people is not the intelligence, not even the hard work alone. It's adaptability. The ability to say, this didn't work, what now? And then actually move. And yes, this is uncomfortable. I get it, it is uncomfortable. Because when you pivot, you feel late, you feel behind, you feel like everyone is watching you. But here's the truth. Nobody is tracking your career as closely as you think. Everyone is too busy worrying about their own mess. Trust me on this. I have seen this over and over again. People who failed the exams but built great careers, I have seen this pattern again and again. I have also seen people who topped the exams but struggled professionally. People who switched fields at 30, 35, 40 or even beyond that age. What mattered was never the first plan. It was whether they stayed in motion. If you are listening to this and you are stuck after a failed attempt, a missed cutoff, or a plan that didn't work out, I want you to hear this very clearly. You are not late. You are not broken. And you are not disqualified from success. You are not disqualified from success. It is important to hear this. But you do have to let go of the idea that your career must follow one predefined script. The belief of that is more dangerous than failure itself. Now let's think about it logically. If one exam failure permanently ended careers, entire industries wouldn't exist. If one wrong choice defined your life forever, no one would ever recover. But real life doesn't work that way. Careers compound over time, skills stack, experience carries forward even when the direction changes. Nothing is wasted if you keep moving. Nothing is wasted. That colleague didn't start from zero when he started this journey. He carried that discipline, he carried the problem solving, he carried resilience, and so many more things. Those things don't disappear when one plan fails. They transfer. And this is where I want to be very clear. Very clear I want to be here. I'm not saying everyone should quit exams. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying UPSC or MPSC or any path is wrong. No. What I am saying is this. No single path gets to own your entire future. If one route closes, you find another. That's not weakness. That's maturity. And yes, one more thing. If you are going through this phase right now, please don't isolate yourself. Don't isolate yourself. Talk to people who are a few years ahead of you. Not influencers or motivational speakers and all that, right? Just talk to people who are few years ahead of you, who have gone through this, right? Like the real people or real working professionals, people who have seen all this. Their stories will calm you down more than any advice or any motivational video ever will. Because you would see them get out of these situations. That story will give you that motivation and encouragement. And if you are comfortable sharing, use the comments. If you have failed an exam, changed direction, and still did well later in your career, definitely share your story. Someone reading this might be in that exact phase right now and they can be benefited from it. And if you are still in the middle of it, that's okay too. That's okay. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need the courage to keep moving. Your career is not over because one plan failed. Most real careers begin exactly when the plan fails from there.